before I introduce Coach Toledo. First of all, next Thursday, the 21st, we'll have Tulane men's and women's basketball media day. As usual, we'll have lunch, and then we'll have in the atrium, and then we'll have the media portion in here. We'll have a release about that later today to each of y'all. Second thing I have is, and I'll be sending a release about this, but on the 9th of November, we're going to piggyback with Coach Toledo's press conference. As most of you know, Tulane is the host institution for the 2012 NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Final Four. We're going to have an official logo unveiling for that event. It'll be at 11 o'clock in the atrium. We'll have lunch. And again, we'll have an announcement about that. We'll have representatives from the city, the local organizing committee, and the NCAA, including our tournament chair for that year, here on campus for this event. So again, please keep that date in mind, and we'll be sending a release out hopefully today or tomorrow about it. And now I'd like to introduce Coach Toledo.
Thanks, Roger. First of all, I want to start by thanking the people that showed up to our football game. I thought it was a great crowd for us. They were behind us. It was neat to see them early. We only wish that we would give them a little bit more to cheer for, and that's the disappointing thing. We wanted to show progress, and we didn't. And so in turn, we all get frustrated by it. You know, nobody more frustrated than me, all right? But I can understand the frustrations. You know, 2 weeks ago, we play Rutgers. We have only 3 penalties. We don't get any sacks, don't get any turnovers. We win the football game. And against Army this week, we just self-destruct, and obviously we lose the football game. So, yeah, everybody's very frustrated and showing frustration, and that's understandable. You know, besides scoring points, okay, because that's the most important thing. You got to outscore your opponent. That's the goal. But turnovers are really the most important stat beside that. You can't give football games away. You just can't give them away, and that's what you do when you turn the ball over. Look at the Saints. You know, Drew Brees is one of the great quarterbacks to ever play the game. Not only is he a great quarterback, he's a great person. But he, unfortunately, threw 3 interceptions. They turned the ball over on a fumble. They lose to Arizona. So it happens is what I'm trying to tell you. You know, we as coaches don't coach that. The players don't want to do that. They don't want to make those mistakes. You know, they don't want to turn the ball over. It happens, unfortunately. It's part of the game. You look at our second quarter, and that basically did us in. It killed us. It just put us way behind the 8 ball. We have 3 fumbles in about a 7-minute span. Okay, 2 kickoffs back-to-back. I've never seen that one. 2 fumble recoveries back-to-back. But offensively, we had the ball for 3.5 minutes in the second quarter. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Defensively, we put our guys in a bind. Bad field position, horrible field position. And they scored a touchdown, kicked a field goal, missed a field goal. But basically, they got exhausted. I mean, they got worn down. And that didn't help them for the rest of the game. Our number 1 priority going into the game was to stop the fullback. You've got to stop the option inside out. And if you don't stop the fullback, it's going to be a long day. And they did some things differently than they've done in the past that hurt us a little bit. We probably didn't adjust to it as well or as fast as we could have. We had some guys hurt. You know, Ponce de Leon, who played a great game against them last year, didn't play. Cedric Wilson sprained his ankle. He was out immediately. We wanted to do some things with Adams at nose. We had to move him back to the tackle position, the 3 technique. So it kind of hurt us game plan-wise, but we just didn't have enough people in there, and they pounded us pretty good. Our kickoffs and our coverage were horrible. Okay, we didn't kick the ball where we wanted to kick it. We put it in a place where we didn't want, and then we didn't cover and get off blocks and tackle very well. Of course, the onside kick at the end was a disaster. You know, we don't have that. They probably don't score the last touchdown. The third quarter was kind of interesting. You know, we come out at half. We're in the game. We feel, you know, like, hey, we're going to make a comeback. We kick off to them. They go 16 plays, eat up 8 minutes of clock, and score a touchdown. That was a little demoralizing. They kick off to us. We go 18 plays in about 8 minutes into the fourth quarter. And, of course, we score a touchdown. It's 31-15. We both have the ball 1 time the third quarter. One time. Now, it's hard to score a lot of points when you only have the ball one time, okay? But usually, you get the ball minimum of 2 to 3 times a quarter. And that's what I mentioned last week. It's hard against these guys, and you get frustrated because they keep the ball, and you're sitting on the sideline waiting to get it. And then we took too long to score a touchdown. We should have scored quicker. But the final score, in my opinion, looked a lot worse than the game really was. Obviously, we lost the game, and that's disappointing. But it could have been a good football game. You take away the 3 fumbles and the onside kick at the end, that's 17 points right there. It could have been a heck of a football game. And unfortunately, it made it look a lot worse than it was. There's a lot of football remaining. Okay, we got 7 games left. They're all league games right now. We got 3 on the road, 4 at home. We as a coaching staff and as a team are going to stay positive. Okay, we're going to continue to work hard. We're going to practice hard, and we're going to try to get better and win some games because there's some games out there that we can win. And so that's our goal right now. Play one game at a time. Tulsa happens to be the next one on the schedule. As you know, Tulsa's 3-3. They're 1-2 in conference schedule. They had a tough loss last week, 21-18 to SMU. But they're really good. Offensive, they returned 9 starters. Their quarterback, G.J. Kinney, has got a lot of mobility in the pocket. He's able to run with the ball. He's a good passer. They're the number 1 rushing team and number 1 total offense team in Conference USA. They're number 3 passing team and scoring team in Conference USA. Their punter averaged over 36 yards last year. He's doing the same thing. He's got great hang time. Puts the ball, I think he put it on the 1, the 5, and the 15 or something last week. He keeps you pinned down, does a great job. Their kicker, I think he was 14 out of 15 field goals last year. He's off to a good start. He kicks off real well. So their kickers and punters are good, and of course we know about Demarius Johnson. He's one of the best punt and kick returners in the country. Okay, he'll end up being the best punt and kick returner in the history of Tulsa. Defensively, they've got an experienced front group. Their defensive linemen got experience. Their linebackers are inexperienced, but they're getting better each week. They've got good size. They've got good athleticism. Their secondary is very athletic. They got hurt earlier in the year because of their inexperience, but you can see them getting better. Injury-wise, J.T. McDonald has had a bad neck the last 3 weeks, hasn't played. He's been more of a special teams player. Kevin Moore started to throw some passes yesterday, but he's not ready to play with a broken finger. Kevin Burris has the knee. He's out for the year, basically. Chris Rhymes pulled a hamstring running under a kickoff last week. He's out. Derek Strozier injured his quad on a kickoff against Rutgers. Didn't play the rest of that game. Didn't play last week. Cedric Wilson has a bad high ankle sprain, and he's out. Questionable, Zach Morgan, our guard, he sprained his ankle in the game as well. We had to play Emmanuel Luco most of the game. And then, of course, Oscar still has the ankle. He's questionable. We'll see how he responds this week. Any questions?